Custom Collectibles.
What's cracking, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Alexis Custom Collectibles. In today's episode we are gonna transform this, which I would say Cell Saga Piccolo, into a Namek Saga Piccolo or a Saiyan Saga Piccolo, and change his shirt to make it look accurate to the anime and to the manga. Till the Android Saga started, he didn't have a V-shaped neck, so that's what we're gonna change today. But first, let's take the figure apart. To make sure you don't break some joints, heat the figure up, maybe with a little bit of hot water. Then the parts will come off easily. So the next step will be to Dremel away some excess on his shirt to make it look flatter. I removed the excess all around the neck. Next, I drew a line to know where the t-shirt will start. Of course, you don't need a marker for this. I should have used a normal, regular pencil, but anyways. Okay, because I want to sculpt also around the neck, this part here has to be glued on. Of course, I won't be able to use the normal cape anymore, but this is not a problem because I already ordered a fabric cape. So I'm gonna use that one here for. And I know, of course, I could have done it myself, but let's say it like it is, I was lazy. So you can do that if you want to, but I decided to buy one. Okay, so now I sand down the edges and corners with sandpaper. This will allow the milliput to hold better on the plastic, to stick better on it. Speaking of it, the next step is to modulate with milliput. For this step I use different modulating tools. You can find them on Amazon if you search for them. So the modulating part is done, and I think it came out pretty good. I like it a lot. As you can see, I also sculpted some details on the shirt to make it look more like it's part of the figure and not like it's molded on the figure. Okay, the next step is sanding again. For sanding, I use different kind of grids of sandpaper to make it really smooth, so you don't see scratches and anything when we paint this thing up. Okay, so next I clean the shirt with alcohol. And now the trickiest part. The painting. So let's see if I get the color right. Because I had some scratches on the chest, I also had to repaint his chest. Therefore, I had to find the right green tone to make it look natural. because the last thing I wanted are two different colors in the green tone. To be honest, in person there is almost no difference between the green tones. Okay, after finishing the chest, the next thing is to paint his shirt. To achieve the color I wanted, I mixed some purple with this navy blue. The first layer was way too dark, so I had to go in again with the lighter purple. I painted the figure using multiple layers to make sure everything is colored and there is no paint bleeding. The only thing left was to paint the neckline. Okay, so here's the finished painted shirt and also the painted chest part. After the paint has dried, I sealed the torso with the matte varnish. The sculpting and the paint job came out really good. I dig it. But let me tell you something. I was so worried about matching the color till I took a look at Tamashi's original paint job. And guys, what are you noticing? I think they failed in terms of the color. And yes, I could paint the legs myself, but to be honest, I didn't want to do it. Plus, I paid 60 euros for this figure to have such major paint issues, so this is not fair actually. And here's another thing that bothers me. The goddamn lips, I mean look at them! What are those? So of course I wanted to fix this one, cause I really hate them. To fix the awful looking lipstick, I used the same green tone as I used for his chest. So now the lip colors are exactly the same as his skin tone, which looks way better in my opinion. What do you think about it? Okay, but for now, let's move on to the next figure, which is the version of Goku without weighted cloths. So basically, I did this one off screen, like the 9th episode of the Stranger Things finale. So yeah, this one was made off screen before I started the Piccolo, and therefore I'm gonna explain you a little bit what I've changed up and what I modified. So first of all, this is obviously a Yamcha body, which I modified a little bit. Those are the parts which I use for the custom. Those parts are from the S.H.Figuarts Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku figure. So first of all, I had to exchange the pelvis and also the hip joint, because it made him a little bit shorter. The most difficult part was to pull out the hip joint and put it back in Yamcha's leg. I also changed his belt because the original one was way too short. But that's not it. I also had to cut Yamcha's belly in half and make it fit to the pelvis of Goku. And I also changed the belly joint with the one from the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. There you can see the cut part. Of course, I also had to cut the lower portion to make it fit on the pelvis, which was a little bit difficult to be honest. So after that I sanded down the wrists. And because I didn't found matching feet, I had to sculpt those. Because the regular arms from Yamcha are way too muscular, I used the arms from an Ultra Instinct Goku. Therefore, I also had to exchange the shoulder joint. The head is from the new demoniacal Fit Goku and Kid Gohan figure. So yeah, that's basically it. And now it's time for the final reveal.